Hello guys, what's going on? This is
Martinbergnerguitar.
And today I'm talking about the concept to categorize guitarists in two kinds of players. So stay hyped and watch till the end of the video.
Okay, so what does it actually mean? The idea for this concept came by watching a lot of young aspiring musicians on Instagram. One thing that a lot of these short performance videos have in common is the so-called search for the perfect take. Many of these guys either sit down and record themselves over and over again 20 or maybe even 30 times, or they might even pre-record themselves and don't even play in their real video. Now, I don't believe that there's anything wrong or immoral about it as long as we are trying to be transparent. As some of you might remember, the recent Hands Don't Glitch Like That incident where some popular YouTubers, including Jared Dines, Levi Clay and Jack Gardner, called out on some very popular Instagram guitar players. Honestly, I don't want to debate about that. I just want that we are sincere about what we can do and don't pretend to be able to do things that we actually can't, although everything we can do is already very impressive and often deserves more credit than we would give ourselves. The point is, these guitar performances that you have to repeat thousands of times to get this one awesome take are not consistent. They are short peeking snippets of your real skill on the instrument. In most of the cases, you wouldn't dare to attempt such a snippet in a live playing situation, since the risk of screwing up and embarrassing yourself in front of many people would be far too high. That creates a conflict in us, because we want to spend less time on things that we find less impressive and rather focus on things that appear to be more remarkable. It's only natural that a lot of young guitar players idolize the fancy new age shredders like Jason Richardson and Stephen Taranto and often find their style more appealing than maybe the playing of a Cory Wong or a Mark Latieri at first glance. Seeing these guys bursting out a machine gun fire of notes within seconds makes us blind for what is really going on behind all this badassery. These guys are not searching for the one perfect take. They are trying to make guitar playing of the highest technical degree not only repeatable, but reliable. This is something completely different than just playing the same line of notes over and over again. It's a totally different discipline within the same sport. Imagine a person trying to throw a spear as far as he can and practicing this over and over again. With given time, the person will probably be able to throw it very far. But now imagine that it's not just about throwing as far as you can, but also hitting a target at the same time. Suddenly we have another dimension. It goes without saying that a person who is particularly good at throwing the spear very far isn't necessarily also good at hitting the target every time, and vice versa. The further we throw, the harder it gets to hit the bullseye. That means now we also have to practice our reliability on hitting the target independently. If we adapt this to guitar playing, then we can categorize players into two groups. One is focusing on hitting the bullseye and sacrifices a bit of distance in trade for precision, and the other one is focusing on covering more distance but sacrifices a bit of precision for that. A player like Cory Wong might not attempt a fast picking line, but he will sound absolutely perfect on point in 99.9% of the times when he plays with a band. On the other hand, a player like Jason Richardson will almost always outclass him regarding sheer technical playability. But he runs at a much higher risk of missing a note or sounding just a little bit off for a brief moment. An untrained ear might not hear the difference between these hypothetical 5% at first glance, but trust me, you will feel it. There's just something deeply fascinating about the sensation of watching musicians who are 100% in sync. Now, there might be people who claim that Jason could easily take over Cory's part in Wolfpack because of his technical proficiency, but I highly question that he would dare to make this statement himself.
So what does this mean for your own playing? Maybe you're just like me and ask yourself why you simply can't make a song sound badass, although you have already achieved a much higher technical standard than what would be necessary for the song. Or maybe you ask yourself why you simply can't make a simple 16th note run sound good within a song, although you have no problems playing it isolated to a metronome.
These things show a lack of consistency that you won't be able to fix by just repeating the same exercise to a metronome over and over again. I will try to explain how to get better at both consistency and peaking performance in my next video. One last thing to keep in mind is that this is not about making a statement for one guitar player being better than the other one. I'm trying to show that there are different mindsets for guitarists to become great in their own discipline, and all of the players I mentioned in this video are musicians and guitar players of the absolute highest level. Music is not a competition. I simply want to spread sympathy and appreciation for different kinds of players. I believe that we as musicians are already overly critical with ourselves, and especially in this day and age with social media, so let's just show a bit more compassion with our peer musicians and what they have accomplished.
Okay guys, so that's it for this video. Please let me know what you think of this idea about categorizing these players into these two groups. If you found this was helpful, then please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and see you guys again next week.